You don't discriminate if it's on TikTok or if it's on YouTube or if it's on Snapchat or whatever the platform is. It's audio, it's video, it's words, images, it's lessons and stories.
Yeah, I got 102,000 followers on Threads, and that's
Amazing.
just posting my favorite.
Amazing.
That's just my favorite quote of the day.
Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Shawn Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production inside the coaching call with my media mentor, business mentor, David Meltzer. We're going to talk about taglines today. So Cali BBQ Media, since I started working with Dave 2019, I turned my restaurant business into a media business. We still do barbecue in San Diego, but the bigger business, the storytelling business, is really why we do these calls, why I broadcast these calls on my podcast feed, on my YouTube channel, so that you, the listener, if you're in the creator economy, how do you make a business out of it? Monetizing content, figuring out how to get revenue for your media company. We just surpassed $2 million in media revenue for our business. Just closed a six-figure deal, or actually second six-figure deal at the end of Q4 to do content. But the tagline that we have been using, and I don't think I've ever talked to Dave about taglines, but the tagline for Cali BBQ is "Be the show, not the commercial." So we produce shows for hospitality and technology brands in the B2B space, and we help them with original content. We help them with what, if you've listened to any of my coaching calls with Dave, we'll put a link into the show notes with all of the previous content that we've done over the last 4 years, but we talk about the stage theory. People are entrepreneurs, business owners, really good in real life at doing business. Now, when it comes to telling stories on the internet, creating a show, there becomes friction. And people immediately think that they need to create a commercial. And as my children will tell you, even my kids, 7-year-old boy and 5-year-old girl, they don't want to watch even original content commercials made for YouTube. They hit skip. So our goal with Cali BBQ Media is to produce content for hospitality brands like Toast, who is one of our big clients that we work with, to create original content that other restaurant owners would find interesting. My question to you, Dave, is what's Dave Meltzer's tagline?
Make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. Another tagline is be more interested than interesting. And the third tagline is be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Now, I'm blessed to have multiple streams of revenue because I'm not a content creator. I'm a content capturer. And so understanding those three taglines in accordance with the objectives that I have and the community in which the frequency is aligned with. So in certain situations, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun resonates best. Be more interested than interesting, best. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds, best. And combination thereof, there is a multitude and multi-layered in frequency that some places, all three work best. And hopefully I'll have an opportunity in which to facilitate articulating each and every one of those taglines and the lessons that I've learned and stories that best portray those taglines.
Can you talk about what you've learned in your career about commercials and advertising and the way that you look at modern marketing versus maybe what was done 20 years ago, 10 years ago?
Yeah. Well, first of all, there wasn't a total addressable community of 7.6 billion people for the individual. When I started understanding advertising, there was radio, print, and TV. TV consisted originally of 3 channels. And that was a limited social silo in which advertising was the best mechanism in order to elevate awareness and to be annoying to the potential total addressable community. When I say annoying, I'm talking about being repetitive and honest, true to your essence, or what overused term authenticity. I love the word essence. What capabilities, what frequency are you working with in order to facilitate the attraction to the 10% that are in the same frequency? Go ahead and remove the 10% that hate you, which also is a great thing, but also be annoying enough to be repetitive by advertising. Advertising still works. It still works in that nature of being annoying. If you can afford to advertise and be annoying, meaning your essence, you've captured your essence, and now you're repetitive with that essence, advertising will work. But in the context of YouTube and LinkedIn and FaceTime fan pages and Reels and other places that are not appropriate for, I know people that direct mail and make way more than you make in your $2 million of media company.
I believe it.
And I know people that have billboards. Check out, you live in Southern California. You don't think Sweet James isn't making a shitload of money from his billboards? Hell yeah. What Sweet James isn't doing, which I think is foolish, is doing videos and amplifying the billboard, right? Because he's so spoiled, he doesn't even see that he could increase 2, 3, or 4 times exponentially the billboard investment that he's made, because it's definitely a profit center into. So when I'm as, a centerfold in American Way magazine, and it was COVID and nobody was flying, I made way more of an opportunity out of it than anyone else because I captured it, because I'm a content capturer. And then I went ahead and paid someone to go ahead and create content from what I've captured. And by modifying it, amplifying, and perpetuating it, including this conversation, I've now elevated my credibility and probably increased the emotional connection that people in your community have towards David Meltzer, the ferocious Buddha, the people that want to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun.
Tell me about licensing. Big ideas. I know you made a big announcement. We talked about it on our last coaching call, but now it's actually officially out on the PR news wire.
Yeah. So look, I've actually expanded ever since I went back to the Napoleon Hill archive. I was the sub licensee of the greatest entrepreneurial content in the last 100 years, which is Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, and about 80% of other content that hasn't been modified, amplified, or perpetuated in the appropriate manner. And so my objective was to find content at my frequency. A neighborhood of people is a frequency, and the neighborhood of people that have been impacted by Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, and Napoleon Hill, Carnegie, and others have been extraordinary. And that's Dale Carnegie as well. But more importantly, being able to own. And so now I've actually partnered in it. So I've taken an equity position in the Napoleon Hill Institute. I'm chairman of the entire institute, not just the corporate division. And we will be relaunching what was formed on my birthday in 1958 with the guy that was born in 1968 on January 11th. Now in 2025, we'll be relaunching with a content capture, modify, amplify, and perpetuate strategy. So now we're going to bring Shakespeare into Napoleon Hill. And I am blessed, like your hat says, because Napoleon Hill, the whole world is already his stage. Over 500 million Napoleon Hill books have sold. And now David Meltzer has the key to the front door to the whole world stage without having to buy amplification and perpetuation or spend extra on the modification, and the content is already captured. So I save all that money to have my essence captured because Napoleon Hill captured it in a traditional manner over 100 years ago. Now it's my job to amplify, modify, and perpetuate it, and to elevate my brand by elevating others with Napoleon Hill.
Before I let you go, can you share, for those that don't know about Think and Grow Rich, the Napoleon Hill story? I love thinking about Napoleon Hill as a modern day podcaster and content capturer.
Yeah.
Share the story, and imagine if he had the technology. Which that's the beautiful thing about your partnership and this licensing deal, and what you guys are going to do is that nobody understands the essence of the stage theory. What you've been teaching me on these calls, what you've been teaching your community, is how to amplify those messages, because you don't care and you don't discriminate if it's on TikTok or if it's on YouTube or if it's on Snapchat or whatever the platform is. It's audio, it's video, it's words, images, it's lessons and stories.
Yeah, I got 102,000 followers on Threads.
Amazing.
And that's just posting my favorite. That's just my favorite quote of the day, right? And I don't. It's just every day one of my favorite quotes a day, and 102,000 people are on that frequency.
Yeah.
But Napoleon Hill, he understood the fastest way to get to where you want to be is find someone that's already there and ask them for directions, and then help someone get to where they want to be with those directions. I'm going to repeat that. Napoleon Hill was the first one who understood completely the fastest way to get to where you want to be is find someone that's already there, ask them for directions, and then share those directions with people that want to get to where they want to be as well. And so he was funded by Carnegie to go meet the most 100 successful people in the world. And it took him a shitload of time and a ton of money to do that. And you and I both know that within even a week, especially when I'm filming my shows, my TV shows, my digital shows, and my lives, I will do in what Carnegie and Napoleon Hill set out to do in 1 week. In 1 week, I'm able to capture the same exact thing because of technology, not because of Dave Meltzer's genius, just Dave Meltzer's discipline, David Meltzer's discipline, and the directions that Napoleon Hill has given me by going over 100 years ago and meeting with the 100 most powerful people in the world. And he has codified, captured those directions. And I've used those directions to get to where I want to be or better. And that's what I'm now doing on average, 70 some people a week, doing what Napoleon Hill did. Now I'm going to revitalize what Napoleon Hill did to clarify those directions into more palatable pieces of content because they're already captured. I'm going to be the guy to go ahead and modify it, amplify it, and perpetuate it. So let alone the directions that have been shared by 500 million people, eventually that may double, triple, or quadruple the number of people that are using Napoleon Hill's directions, modified by David Meltzer, amplified by David Meltzer, and perpetuated by David Meltzer, which of course, as you know, will elevate David Meltzer and elevate Shawn Walchef and everybody else that's in the lineage, the frequency, the neighborhood of Napoleon Hill. And that neighborhood is so much bigger than the neighborhood that I've already been able to invest in and build. So I've just accelerated and aggregated and compound exponentially the neighborhood, the community, the frequency in which was my objective, my intention. And everybody knows what you pay attention to, plus what you give intention to by doing, saying, thinking, feeling, believing, and capturing that, modifying, amplifying, perpetuating that will equal the coincidences, the coinciding, the consequences, the results, the opportunities, options, and touches of favor. So you know that everything that you give will be given. You just have to feel worthy of receiving it and confident in the abundant faith that there's more than enough for everyone and ask for more. That's why I'm the Ferocious Buddha and we're blessed. You can make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. I encourage everyone to be more interested than interesting. And remember, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. God bless you, Shawn Walchef.
That is David Meltzer. If you learn to love what you do, it will share all its secrets. That is a quote. Because he talks to so many amazing people, these are the nuggets of wisdom that we get to pass on to our communities. Thank you. I appreciate you, grateful for you. And always reach out to David. He'll send you a book. Join his live Friday calls, follow him on all the platforms. I can't wait to see what you do with Napoleon Hill, specifically also in the hospitality space. Boom.
Go Bolts.
Go Bolts.